brand is in one
Oh
less.
shit, Elon's here. All right, I gotta kick
Yeah.
some people out.
All right. See you.
Hey guys, Elon here.
Hey,
Who's it?
Elon, are you on V12 right now?
Yeah. So, um,
Yeah, what's up,
hey
Elon?
guys. Yeah, I'm on the V12 beta, which is just full AI end to end. Photons in, controls out. It's pretty amazing. It's driving very well, but I'm on the 280, so it's just driving down the 280. So right now, I think it's somewhat indistinguishable from the production autopilot production FSD, the one that that where 200,000 people have, because it's actually pretty easy to drive on a highway, relatively speaking. Um, but we're going to turn off the highway in about less than 10 minutes, and then we'll be in Palo Alto. And so we'll go cruising around Palo Alto. We might try to find Zuck's house and challenge him to a fight if possible. He's probably traveling, and he owns like 8,000 houses in Palo Alto, so I don't know which one he's at. Um, but
I love how you're prioritizing the memes, Elon. Well done.
yeah,
So you are gonna live stream it.
yeah. So call it in like I think we're gonna hit the turn off in about page mill turn off in like less than 10 minutes. Yeah,
Awesome.
Hell yeah, this is so awesome.
yeah.
So could you give us any more commentary, like architecturally? I saw the CVPR conference and stuff, but why go end to end? What's the advantage of, moving control and everything over to neural nets?
Well, I mean, this is basically how humans work. So we're sort of photons in to motor movements out, to hand and foot movements out, and so that's kind of what works best, as opposed to injecting a bunch of heuristics. Um, now, I should say that this does take a lot of training compute. I think we will probably spend on the order of $2 billion this year on training compute. A bunch of that is acquiring hardware, so that'll last for some number of years. So but we'll probably spend a similar amount next year, if actually more next year probably. So it's not like walk in the park here. It's a lot of data and a lot of training, um, but it's a very few lines of actual code. So it's really quite kind of remarkable. It's I mean, we obviously have a proof case in the form of humans that use a biological neural net and eyes to drive, and so cameras and digital neural net is kind of the solution to is the correct general solution to self-driving. Um, Now the thing that's kind of uh, a little weird is that it's actually hard for the car to explain what it's doing. But but then the same is true when you are, say, driving in a taxi or an Uber or something. The You don't actually know what the driver is thinking. You just know what the driver's track record is. Um, you know, uh, 4 or 5 star or whatever, and that they have a lot of experience, and so you kind of trust that experience that they'll drive well. But you actually don't know for sure when you're in a taxi or whatever that the that they're going to drive well. That's kind of how it will be for um, FSD 12. So like really, even like the rendering of what's on the screen is an approximation of what the car is thinking, not exactly what the car is thinking. Um, but I mean, it works really well, and it's super smooth. So
Wow.
yeah,
Elon, everyone's been talking about the GPU shortage. NVIDIA just reported monster earnings, and
yeah,
you've said that FSD is compute
it
constrained.
is.
What do you mean by that? And what will Dojo do to help that?
Well, we do all of our training, well, almost all of our training, I should say, on NVIDIA hardware. Um, we're also bringing up Dojo, and we're doing some amount of training on Dojo, and we'll do an increasing amount of training on Dojo. But we have bought a lot of NVIDIA GPUs, and we intend to continue buying NVIDIA GPUs in addition to Dojo. So, really, it seems like the world is going to be very compute constrained for a while. With for and like I don't know, I think I think almost all of the data centers around the world will over time be AI instead of conventional CPUs. Or most of the, like if you were to say like what percentage of the uh, energy is being used for neural nets, is going to over time I think be probably 80-90%.
Wow.
So I think that's why NVIDIA has such a high market cap, is that people see demand being very substantial for a long time. So there's room for both NVIDIA and Tesla Dojo, because the demand for neural net training and inference will be so high. It is so high. Although I do think that we're trending towards, this year there being obviously a severe silicon shortage this year. But then at some point this will become, the choke point will be voltage step-down transformers, because you still have to go from...
It's already happening. People were telling me today, huge wait times on transformers.
Yeah, I mean, that's the irony is that you need transformers for transformers. So it's like, a GPT is most of the compute is autoregressive transformers. The neural net, like the software version of transformers, and then you need voltage step-down transformers to run the neural net software transformers. So anyway, transformers for transformers. Indeed there is a shortage of the lead time for voltage step-down transformers is already, I think, on the order of a year and getting longer. And that's not an industry that's used to rapid change. They're used to pretty steady state stuff. And then going beyond that, I think there will be an electricity shortage. So just generation capacity, especially if you have if you need the compute to be in one place, which for training you need the compute to be in one place, because the GPUs, which is actually the wrong word, the Google term is actually better, TPU, a tensor processing unit. GPU means graphics processing unit, so we're not doing graphics. In fact,
Yeah, absolutely.
the H100 actually, the H100 technically has a VGA port for boot up, but it has no actual high bandwidth graphics output capability. So it's weird to call something a GPU that when it actually can't do graphics.
I've been in a data center at Google, and they had a square foot of data center space would have pizza box after pizza box on top of each other with no monitor, right? What does it look like to have like 5,000 H100 cards in a data center?
Well, at Tesla, we're bringing up a 10,000 unit H100 cluster right now, actually. And by the way, it's not
Wow.
a trivial thing to bring this up. It's not like, hey, turn on the machines and everything just works. It's we're going 24/7 on this, and with some very competent people, and it's a struggle to get 10,000 H100s to work, like very difficult, and to get all the networking to work and the cabling. The you know the,
Are you using NVIDIA's networking solution there?
for this system we are using InfiniBand, but
Nice.
there's and this is somewhat an esoteric debate of like what's better, like Rocky, which is basically Ethernet, advanced Ethernet, or InfiniBand. I think the general trend for, if you say like much larger scale things, might be more towards sort of Ethernet, or very high-speed Ethernet, which is ROCE, Rocky, and there's also a shortage of InfiniBand equipment. In fact, that's often more of a shortage than the GPUs.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so for training, you need a dense cluster of computing. There's a massive amount of communication between the GPUs, or really the neural net computers. For inference, you don't have to, inference you can run on I don't know, like an 8-node stack or something like that, or even less. Just like in the car, we're running inference with basically 100 watts, 100 watt, and we'll run inference at 8-bit. And
Is that hardware 400 watts?
100 hardware 4 is more. So
Are you going to be driving a hardware 3 or hardware 4 car today for the live
this is
stream?
hardware 3.
Oh, okay. Is hardware 4 not supported yet?
Not yet. It will be.
Does the higher resolution pose a challenge with the data set and everything? How do you manage that?
We do have to retrain in order to use the high resolution, because of the fact that as photons into controls out, that photons are different. You're getting a different bit stream with the hardware 4 cameras than with the hardware 3 cameras. And we're in Palo Alto now, so I could, on PageMill, could actually turn it on. Although I'd have to, I can't do spaces at the same time.
Yeah, one last question, Elon. In FSD 1147, they had the side blinker camera, and people noticed it started looking better. How did you achieve that? Is it just better post-processing or something like that, or maybe something neural-based?
We can do a lot of post-processing. Yeah. So in fact, yes, we did improve the post-processing.
Prasad, do you want to get your question in?
Do you have like a second, Elon?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the longer we take, the longer it will be in slide turn on.
Yeah, let's wrap this up soon. This will be the last question.
Yeah, I'll make it 2 seconds. So the thing with FSC that I noticed, since I've been using it for God knows how long now, that there's 2 very distinct variables. There's a safety variable, and there's like the comfort confidence variable. And I'm wondering, how much are you seeing with V12? Because we know that the software is super safe. I feel very safe using it, but there's like these little moments where, say, somebody that's new to the software is like, oh, that was kind of inhuman. Oh, that was weird. Is V12 making significant improvements on that side? I would love to hear a little bit there.
Yeah, well, I mean, you'll just be able to see it, because I'm literally just going to. I guess what I'm going to do is, like, we're in Palo Alto. I'm just going to drop random pins on the map, just like scroll on the map, drop a pin, then drop another pin, then drop another pin. So it's not, it's not like a pre-programmed route. And we'll just see what happens. This. There's a reason we haven't released this to the public, is because that's there's still times when it goes wrong, but you'll see that it's extremely smooth. I mean, it's very, very smooth. It's not very good.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Go drive through Stanford, where there's a lot of pedestrians and stuff. And thank you so much for your time, Elon. This was really great.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Elon.
Guys,
Thanks, Elon.
all right. So I'll prepare for the live stream.
Enjoy
Let's
your
go.
Go to Mark's
This
house.
is gonna be
Here
awesome.
we go. We did it, guys.
I'm excited.
We got it.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Sweet.
So
I'm loving how they're pumping classical in the background. That's freaking hilarious.
awesome.
Nice job.
We're about to see FSD V12, people.
So-
get your live streams ready.
Is he just going to post a link on X and notify, and then just click the link like
Yeah.
he did in Japan? Probably. Yeah.
I think it'll be a live video on X.
I'm so happy my question was
Interesting that he's
redundant.
giving the demo on hardware 3. I would have expected him to be using a hardware 4 car.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah. The retraining was an interesting tidbit, and how the bit stream of the camera